Located about 3 kilometers to Ho, the Volta regional capital of Ghana is Sokode Lokoe, a small town where the destinies of some of Ghana's disadvantaged girls and women are being shaped. It is a nation's desire to see improvements in the standard of life of its people, especially the disadvantaged in society. Ghana is signatory to most international conventions that seek to address poverty among women, increase access to education and health resources, and establishing support systems to enable women take control of their lives. However, women still seem to be the poor, marginalized, and discriminated against, with little or no opportunities available to make their lives meaningful. From childhood through puberty and adulthood, the female child encounters a lot of problems.
When you talk about adolescence, is a period in which a child discovers himself. And since we are talking about girls, the girl discovers herself. It is a time when biologically a lot of things are taking place. She gets into puberty, breasts are developing, she's becoming conscious of herself as an individual. She becomes conscious of the opposite sex, her emotions begin to grow and all that. And it's a very interesting period because that is when their talents and gifts also begin to peak, and given the right environment, they can be geniuses in their own way. So it is a very interesting period, and at the same time, it is a time when the girl is very curious, the girl is conscious of her looks, the girl is conscious of how other people think about her, and so on and so on, and also conscious about the opposite sex. So the problem comes when they don't get support in terms of counseling, in terms of parental support and responsibility towards them. They need people to listen to them. They need to share their experiences. They need somebody to be behind them and to know that somebody cares.
For young girls in rural areas, the situation could be very devastating, especially when they drop out from school due to teenage pregnancy. The future then seems very bleak.
The rural areas remain rural in the sense that the parents wake up and go to the farm. The girl doesn't see as much as the girl in the urban center sees. But basically, parents are poor and their needs are not met. And there are men there in that community. In the communities where we work, the girls tell us they get attracted to the motor riders who are now, using their Okala type. So you see these motor riders impregnating most of the girls there because they just admire them in the way they are riding the motorbikes and so on. So this is a typical rural setting, and they feel that motor rider is above most of the men there.
Evelyn is a teenage mother of one. She dropped out of the educational ladder when she got pregnant after completing junior high school. Financial constraints and the burden of early motherhood prevented her from furthering her education. Times were hard. She had to do something to save her future and that of her baby.
I got pregnant when I completed GHS. My biggest challenge was financial problems. Although the father of my child was a stoffer, he had no shop. I lost my father when I was 3 and later lost my mother. My mates used to see me and pretend not to know me. I feel odd amongst them anytime I see them. So sometimes I intend passing different way if I see them because I know I always feel shy.
A teenage who is pregnant presumably must have been in school before the pregnancy came, most of them. And the moment it happens, you see that the school even rejects you. Peers begin to laugh at you, hey, and that kind of thing. Yeah, so there is that exclusion coming from there. Now when she comes home, parents are disappointed, parents are peeved, worried, angry, everything mixed up. So there's a kind of pressure also coming from there. And then even you take the church, they also feel that you've gone to commit fornication, you have sinned, And so you don't even feel comfortable unless you get people who really, really want to get close and make you feel comfortable. Otherwise, there's a sense of rejection also coming from the church. So you realize that all around, this girl is rejected. And worst of all, when the man decides not to take responsibility. So this teenage pregnant girl is left alone. She becomes a victim of all these. And that's why some of them then want to commit abortion. Some of them decide that when they bring forth, they'll just throw the baby away and all that. So psychologically, this teenage mother is really traumatized, troubled, confused, and feels rejected. And that is enough load on a child. Their childhood is taken away. The man has disappointed them. They are confused, and they feel rejected. And they are disappointed in themselves as well.
The youth policy of Ghana puts the youthful age between 15 and 35 years. This group is the most important human resource potential that can contribute significantly to overall development of a nation. One of the guiding principles of the youth policy rests on youth empowerment, creating the needed supportive, participatory and informative environment can help the youth move successfully from dependency to autonomy and responsible adulthood. It should not be the case that a girl's future becomes shattered simply because she fell into the web of teenage pregnancy. These disadvantaged girls need to be empowered with information, training and skills to help them take control of their lives.
In terms of empowerment, the Ghana Education Service, conscious of this, has rolled out the re-entry policy. The re-entry policy stipulates that when you give birth, you can come back to school, and the school is obliged to take you on. I think that if the girl manages to go to a health center, it will be important that the health facility immediately links them up to counseling and also to a kind of social safety or social protection program.
In Ho, the Lady Volta Vocational Center in Electricity and Solar Power is contributing immensely to improving the lives of some teenage mothers who would have wasted their lives away.
This organization was established based on a research conducted on teenage pregnancy in the whole municipality. And the result came out that the dropout of girls from school as a result of pregnancy is mainly due to poverty. So the organization established to tackle this issue from different angles. First, giving information on young women on reproductive health, and then also empowering them by giving them employable skills.
In my hometown where I was brought up, I noticed a situation over there. I do visit them frequently, and I realized the plight that the disadvantaged women go through, and also the young ladies. So I decided in my heart that I have to do something to help these people.
Many of these teenage mothers are being transformed as they learn vocations and employable skills in bead making, batik making, and sewing the batik into many useful items. Interestingly, even the male-dominated field of electrical engineering is being invaded by these girls. For some of them, it is their first touch with technology, but they embrace it with ease. Aside electrical repairs and installation, with just a few local and recycled materials, like frames of plywood from motorcycle boxes and partially broken solar cells, these teenage mothers are able to construct solar panels. Evelyn is a beneficiary of this training. The teenage mother who used to be on the streets is now a potential entrepreneur.
Evelyn is a hard-working and obedient student that comes from Tanyigbe, which is near Ho in the Volta region. She used to sell fried potatoes and cassava at the roadside. When she heard about our school, then she decided to come join us. When Evelyn came around, we realized she was somebody that had the potential to be somebody great, but she had a challenge with expressing herself in the English language, which is key for development success. So we came together to see how we can address this issue to place emphasis on developing her skills and also her ability to express herself in the English language. And as time went on, she has picked up and she's now able to express herself confidently in the English language. And she can also now repair basic electrical appliances like irons, fans, and now progressing to house wiring. She can also now repair solar panels.
She takes us through the process of constructing a solar panel.
Fixing my USB port, my solar panel will be able to charge phones and other gadgets using the USB.
These locally made USB chargers, when left in the sun for a few hours, can charge cell phones and other electrical gadgets with USB connection. As the nation makes strides to increase its energy generation capacity, this could be a little step in the right direction, as these locally made solar panels can provide power to rural folks in remote communities that have little or no access to electricity.
I see Evelyn to be one of Ghana's greatest electrical contractors that will be taking up major contracts in house wiring of office complexes in the country. And also, I also see her to be an entrepreneur, own her own shop where she will also have electrical appliances as well as solar devices, which she can repair when they get damaged.
In future, I wish to become a great woman electrician.
In the fight against poverty and economic inequality, there is the need to integrate such disadvantaged girls into economic development so that they are able to attain their potential, build self-confidence, and live reasonable lives.